#1 qualifier Courtney Force in Top Fuel will be in the last pair along with Spencer Massey. And you look, the crew just finishing up change to the rear wing. What they've done is they've laid it back just a little bit, decreasing the angle. What that'll do is that'll decrease drag and also decrease downforce.
So you see the work by the crew. Of course, Courtney may not have the opportunities that she has in Top Fuel, if not for the First Lady of Drag Racing, Shirley Muldowney, the 3-time Top Fuel champion. Indy winner joins us. Shirley, great to see you first and foremost. How you been keeping yourself busy these days?
Very busy.
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Well, I moved to North Carolina.
Okay, that's, yeah, well, moving.
I'm still unpacking boxes.
Oh, gee. You know what, you may be for quite a while.
It's ugly.
That never ends. Why did you move to North Carolina? You've been in Michigan for so long.
I had to get out of there.
It was time.
Well, I didn't want the cold, so I thought I'd try a little bit of sun. And then I got down there and went, what did I just do? Am I crazy? I'm allergic to humidity.
Yeah, but just wait for winter. It's all going to make sense then, of course. Where would the women be without Shirley Muldowney, who kicked it all off on the professional side? 1976 Columbus. I'm taking you way back here to National Trail Raceway.
Oh, yeah, the late Bob Edwards. My word, we looked like we were crawling.
Gotta love that video. Who's that on the right? We've been trying to figure out who that announcer was. Do you remember?
No, but he definitely was in the 70s. Look at the collar on the shirt. I think I know who that is.
And that obviously is what kick-started it for all the women. After, of course, 1976 became the first female champion in NHRA history. 3 times a Top Fuel champion. The first one who could say that as well.
Actually, I was the first one that could say I won 3 back-to-back.
There you go.
You guys never mention that.
Back-to-back-to-back. I'm saying it a lot.
Make a note of that, Louis. Don't let us forget that.
Columbus, Englishtown, Montreal.
Obviously, top 5 in the NHRA's top 50 drivers, number 61. Hey, when you get on Sports Illustrated,
I don't know what that is.
You're doing something. That's a pretty popular magazine about all kinds of sports.
Yeah, but
and you got us in the pages.
Why mention
You know what?
it?
That's a great point. Sports Illustrated, you got some explaining to do. That's all I got to say about that. Tim Cullinan and Billy Torrance. Is Shirley Muldowney's going to hang out with us during Nitro today.
I wonder if Tim still has my trailer that he bought.
That's a story right there. So is Billy Torrance, who just went 3:87.5. And, of course, is Steve Torrance's son. Steve saying for the longest time, Shirley, I got to get my dad out here to get that extra team out here. There wasn't a lot of 2-car teams back in the day. How valuable would that have been?
You know, I always did my own thing. I didn't feel like I needed any backup or someone to help boost me to the next position.
Exactly.
She won 3 championships. Why did she need that? That's right.
You didn't mention that, Mike. Come on now.
And I didn't have anyone shutting off for me either. Sorry.
Very, very cool.
Take a look at Billy Torrance there. He's improved on every single pass down that racetrack. They probably would have liked to run a little bit better in these types of conditions, but the fact that you improve on every run is something to talk about.
Look at the spray off the rear wing.
It's humid out there. It gets those contrails off the back of that wing as that pressure from that air and that moisture. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
And here comes the shit.
Well, you saw the very first ever win for females in the NHRA Meliolo Drag Racing Series, 1976. Fast forward to just earlier this year, 2014, it was Courtney Force that grabbed the 100th Wally for women when she beat Cruz Pedregon in a dramatic final in Topeka, Kansas. Not just one trophy for the national event, but that very special one that says 100. Courtney joins us now on the headsets, and obviously she knows Shirley's in the booth. This is a great moment. I'm excited because you're here, because she's here. And we know you got the phone call. Did you ever give Shirley a call back, Courtney?
I was too nervous. I didn't know what to do. I called my dad. I was like, do I call her back? What do I do? I was so excited. Thank you for that phone call. It was, you know, it really is an honor to have Shirley call, you know, our shop in California and congratulate me on that. It was a huge deal, so it was pretty cool.
Well, your dad called me. I don't know, he called me. I was doing something during the week, and he said, Shirley, this is John Force. I said, no kidding.
What does it mean for what Shirley was able to do to make it easy for you and the other 14 women that have amassed now 102 national event wins, Courtney?
Yeah, well, obviously none of us girls would be out here if it weren't for Shirley. You know, everything that she's done, you know, all of her hard work and wins, you know, really wouldn't be out here if it weren't for her. I mean, we all looked up to her as a driver, and it's just amazing being a part of this great sport. But like I said before, we just got lucky that weekend that, you know, we happened to get the win. It could have been any of the females out here because all of these drivers, they're doing such an amazing job. And it was an honor to get the number 100, but there's going to be 100 more to go. And it's just really an honor to be a part of a list of such amazing female drivers.
Shirley, this sport's never had a problem with diversity. How hard was it to really kind of push the boys around back then and stake claim to your own?
I don't know if you could say it was hard. It was guerrilla warfare.
Yeah?
It was pretty tough. They did not want any part of women on the weekend. We leave the house to get away from the women. Now we got to put up with them at the racetrack.
The roar of 10,000 horsepower means Clay Milliken and Terry McMillan have just gone down the racetrack. And take a look at Clay from outside the field. A 5-position improvement inside at number 14 now. Puts the Greek on the bump.
Well, let's go on board with Terry McMillan. Terry made a good run Friday night with a 386. Clay Milliken in the other lane, though, really needed this run to get down the racetrack. He was able to do it and get into the show. Nice job.
Courtney, when you hear those words out of Shirley Muldowney's mouth about guerrilla warfare, do you think that you'd have the I guess, guts to take on the boys today like Shirley had to back then?
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely, it's tough what she had to do back then, and that's why we all kind of praise her for it today because, you know, it is a lot different today. You know, the guys aren't, you know, that tough on us. I mean, they are in the race car, but, you know, they actually are, you know, they've been pretty supportive to me, and I'm very fortunate for that, and I think we all owe that because of Shirley. So, you know, it's a lot different today, and I mean, I grew up around all these guys out here, and maybe that's why it's a little bit different. They're used to racing my dad, and I think I bugged all the guys enough that they knew I was going to be coming up in the ranks. I just knew that this was a dream of mine, and I've always wanted to race a funny car. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing everything that Shirley has done, you know, while she was out here racing, and so thank you to her.
Well, Courtney, they didn't have to put up with publicists back then. So now you have to do what you're told, and you know, who's to say that they know what they're talking about? But it's, you know, when you're down at the end of the finish line and someone's giving you a hard time, you got to know how to fight.
Yeah, exactly. Believe me, I learned all that from my dad, but I try to be on my best behavior.
Courtney, thanks so much for the time. You got to get ready to go to the work here.
Yep, we do. Get to get back in the car. I love it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
But our conversation with Shirley Muldowney will continue as Richie Crampton and Sean Langdon come to the starting line.